We have got a treat this morning. It's like Christmas or my birthday or St. Patrick's Day with a corned beef and cabbage has come early because there is a sidewinder going right by our camp to say goodbye as we pack up. They are pit vipers, like most rattlesnakes in the United States, and that tells us three things. One being that they are venomous. They have long fangs in the front, just like you would think of any other rattlesnake, that are hollow and inject venom for their prey. Mostly on the weaker side of venomous for rattlesnakes in the United States, but still pretty miserable if you get bitten. Two is that they also give live birth. There are some exceptions, but most people think of reptiles for laying eggs. And three, pit vipers have heat-sensing organs near their nostrils that are used for thermal radiation detection for warm-blooded species. Sidewinders get their name from their very unique locomotion. You can see that he's very interested in going under the truck, so we're gonna kind of move him away from the truck so that he's not hanging out around the dog. But very cool treat before we leave. Nana, are you ready? Are you ready for adventure?
Welcome back to Canyon Adventures. I'm Chris.
And I'm Elizabeth.
And we live full-time in this truck camper you see bestowed behind us here. And today is a really big day for us. It is 95 degrees and we are moving for the first time in probably 7 months.
We've been in the California-Arizona border, right outside of Yuma, in an LTVA, which is a long-term visitor area, which allows you to stay in one spot for 7 months. And now we're at the end of the season.
It is now closed. We were told by the gentleman yesterday on the Kawasaki Mule golf cart thing. So we are packing up and we're leaving. We get a lot of comments like, where's the other vehicle? Where's the boat? We use this place as our
home base.
And then we move around and use just what we need, just the truck, just the motorcycle, or just the boat. So now we're getting the whole convoy back together so that we can put some miles on the road today. And we've got a lot of driving to do in the next month.
But before we are leaving, we've done a lot of maintenance and preparation for the convoy going back on the road.
We first changed the oil in the truck, and then we changed the fuel filter on these diesels. I changed the fuel filter every other oil change, and then we did the oil change in the Honda Ridgeline over there, which we shipped all the way over from Guam and has been an absolute workhorse for us. Then we shifted gears to the maintenance on our generator. We put a spark plug in it. And changed the oil, checked the valves, and clean the air filter.
Poor generator. Look at all that filthy dust and dirt.
So everything should be road ready by about now.
And we also did something that we needed to do since we got this truck, but just never had the time since we were always on the move, which is switching out the headlights.
I'm not gonna dime anybody out here on this channel. That's not what this channel is about.
Of course not.
But the previous owner put some Chinese aftermarket headlights that pointed straight at the dirt, and they look great. They look fantastic during the day until you go to flip your headlights on and you see nothing. And there was no way to adjust them because they're not built for this truck. So the design doesn't allow any adjustment in them. I cut and hacksawed stuff. So I'm not gonna dime anybody out, but my brother put some crappy headlights on this truck. And we fixed that and put some brand new OEM style headlights on.
We also are on the last 1,000 miles of the Honda Ridgeline tires. The suspension's pretty worn out in the back and we don't have the money to throw at that. And we had some uneven wear, so we had to swap the tires on the back and then get the adjustments done.
All right, so on today's episode of Struggle Bus, we got the Ryobi out, so that can't be any good. You can see on this side of the tire how much tread there is, and on this side it's almost completely gone. So it's got a fresh alignment. Hopefully those tires will last a little bit longer. We rotated the bad wearing side. So should be pretty good to go. And I'm very excited today for heading to, we will be camping tonight because we've got a fun Iron Chef surprise when we get there.
You don't even like cooking shows, reality cooking shows.
I don't.
But you know the references.
I don't.
Yeah, we have a special ingredient for our dinner or breakfast.
And I guarantee you it's never been used on another truck camping or van life channel. And I stand behind that.
100%, full confidence. I think so too.
With the magic of editing, we're on the other side of the truck. It is
Hot.
getting close to 100 degrees outside today, and it's hard filming in this light. Anyway, we're in the shade of the truck now, so Elizabeth can continue telling you about general direction of where we're headed.
We are headed east. East? We're eastbound.
And also south. On a map, I need you to tell me, is south up or down?
It's down.
All together now.
We're headed eastbound and down.
Eastbound down, loaded up and trucking. We gonna do what this again, we gonna.
I've been away my whole life. Eastbound and down. Woo!
You didn't blow the donations on a belt buckle, did you?
Well, now, Miss Little Thing, don't you have to worry about that at all. That is simply aluminum foil and a little duct tape.
You put all this time in. What about the shoes?
Well, now, don't you worry about them little shoes. I call them my AJs, Alan Jacksons. Them's neon rainbows down there. Don't you worry about that. And so we gotta drop a little weight first, and the way we drop a little weight is we gotta get rid of some water in our water bags. We use them for punching bags and for working out. But we gotta get rid of that so we can get out of here.
She didn't recognize you. The dog doesn't recognize him.
That's how good my Burt Reynolds is. Woo!
Oh my God.
Come see Burt. Oh, woo. All right. So we carry this around. This is a buoy, meant for boats, and it's supposed to be full of air. We fill it up full of water, and it's a nice weight to use. We'll use it to exercise with, and I mainly use it to punch. It makes a really awesome water bag, and it costs nothing. And then once you move, like we're doing right now, you pull the water out of it, and the thing only weighs like a pound. It goes from 150 pounds to about a pound, and let that drain. And our second thing that we work out with is this tidal bag here, and the same way on it. It weighs about 60 pounds, and we just drain the water out of it, and then it goes down to weighing less than a pound.
Easy there, Bert.
Putting the plugs back in. Now we just got to hook the Ford to the boat, and then the motorcycle's here to the Honda. Go refill water one last time, and we'll be on the road.
We've stopped on our eastbound and down journey for our Iron Chef ingredient, which is right off of the main highway in here. And you can't smell it, but it smells like a farm.
And then where we're going to be camping is over here. So super handy. So hopefully we can get back there and cook up our Iron Chef ingredient after we go pick it up in here.
Let's see. As we've been going down the highway, we also have to stop and periodically check to make sure that all the trailers are good, all the straps are tied down, and nothing's loose. And Chris periodically just touches all of the hubs, make sure they're not hot. They're good.
The secret ingredient, if you haven't guessed it or seen yet, is an ostrich egg.
Wow!
So what we want to do is to go have for dinner is make the world's largest deviled eggs. So I think this is super cool. I wanted to do this for literally years, so we stopped by here at
Pre-YouTube have wanted to do this.
yeah, pre-YouTube.
Yeah.
So we stopped by here at Rooster Cogburn's ostrich farm and petting zoo and grabbed a couple of these eggs. And we're gonna go back in right now, throw one of these in the boil. It's gotta boil for like an hour and 45 minutes. So we're gonna go back and get on this.
This is also a petting zoo where you can feed the ostriches and a bunch of other really cool animals they have. But Mona's in the truck and we still have to get to the campsite and set everything up before 5 o'clock. So no petting zoo today. So cool, it's like a forest of saguaros. They are everywhere, super dense, and it's really cool because those cactus can only be found in a very small range. So to see them so prevalent here, it's very cool, very pretty. For the first time since November 16th, we are plugged in to shore power. So this feels like a life of luxury. The electric is the only hookup and that's all we need anyway, but it's kind of crazy that it's been since November since we've actually hooked up to electricity. It's just been boondocking ever since.
Don't mind the noise, please. That's our fan. It's running wide open because it's like 100 degrees in here. And we had to cut the AC off real quick so that we could film the audio portion. But I want to show you our newest addition to the camp. And this is an $8 pot from Walmart because we didn't have anything big enough to fit that.
Hold it up near your head. Whoa.
That is pretty cool. And what's very cool about these is apparently people make a lot of art and stuff out of the shell, which is super interesting. We bought two. So I think this one we're going to boil, so the shell will be destroyed, of course. But we have another one, which would be cool for like a quiche or just a large quantity of eggs. This is about 24 eggs of chicken eggs. So we're going to destroy the shell on this one, making a giant deviled egg, because I want a giant deviled egg so bad I can't stand it. It just sounds so awesome for a dinner. Deviled eggs are so small and you eat them so fast. I can eat a whole tray of devilies in in 5 minutes. So we're gonna boil this. It takes an hour and 45 minutes to boil an ostrich egg. So it's gonna get very hot in here. So I'm gonna turn the AC back on. So there's we're not gonna talk to the camera anymore for a second because I'm about to sweat to death. Stove is winning the battle of BTUs versus our little AC. It's very hot in here. So Bert had to be retired and he's hanging up in the corner and I had to go into gym clothes. This egg is keeping the camper very warm.
Living her best life with the Ryobi fam.
All right, I'm gonna get a little bacon going. We bought pre-cooked bacon just to kind of cut down on the mess. It's a lot of grease. So I'm going to get it going so we can kind of garnish our deviled egg with a little bit of pork product. I'm going to put just a little bit of wasabi inside the mayonnaise because this store-bought wasabi is just horseradish with a little food coloring mostly. So I'm just a little bit of horseradish kick I think would be very good with this. You don't get an opportunity to ostrich egg very often. I don't want to overcook it and I don't want to undercook it where we finally get it all peeled and then the yolk runs everywhere. So very nerve-wracking.
my gosh, you're gonna do that. Oh, it makes me so nervous.
For a long time. I don't know how to get it out of here. We don't have a big enough utensil to really get underneath it. I didn't see this problem coming. Okay, so the smarter way, I think, was just to pour all the water out. And I'm going to pour it into this cooler, which has some ice water in it. Maybe.
Ooh, is it about a hot potato right now?
Yeah, it's very hot, and it's got a lot of mass. So we'll let it cool down for just a minute. Something interesting that I just noticed about this gigantic cloaca candy. This giant.
Ew.
It is the world's biggest. This is the queen of cloacas. And it doesn't really have an end. Like it seems to be pretty symmetrical on both sides. So I'm used to like hitting a boiled egg from the bottom because there's a little bit of gap underneath. And this one seems to be pretty symmetrical. So I'm not sure which side to whap. So I'm just going to pick one. I'm going to pick this side. And it's a very hard shell. So I'm going to get a metal butter knife. Ooh, that's a hard shell. That is extraordinarily thick. So thick.
It looks like a shell you find on a beach.
It's just
like
it's
a mollusk
thicker.
shell.
It's thicker than a butter knife for sure. Double,
what?
triple. The lady we bought it from said these have a slightly sweeter taste than a chicken egg. She said very mildly, but just a little bit sweeter. And she said when you cook them, other than boil them like we did here, any other way, she said they're much fluffier, is what she noticed. Man, these pieces of shell are incredibly thick.
These are the thickest shells in the world, in addition to being the largest.
They are incredibly thick.
The woman checking us out said that there's people that make like the puka shell necklaces that everybody wears on the beach, but it's made out of the shells of ostrich eggs instead of shells from mollusks. So it's just that hardy and that thick and strong.
Oh, and it's just gonna fall out.
Whoa! He took the hat off.
Look at that.
Oh my gosh, it kind of looks like Jello. The moment of truth is gonna be cutting this open. Oh, I'm anxious.
I'm very nervous if we just wasted, because we drove this direction in this way for our next destination exclusively for this. We've been sitting in the desert for 7 months, and I've been wanting to come through this area to get an ostrich egg because they're only in season for part of the year.
From February to June.
So we're at the end of the season, so I don't want to mess this up.
Boy.
Okay, we're in.
Oh boy.
Trying to keep it so up. Oh yeah.
Whoa! Oh my gosh, that was like a wave of relief. Oh my gosh.
Look at that.
Whoa!
That is nuts.
That's crazy. It's so yellow.
That is nuts. So that is the equivalent of a dozen egg yolks right there in the pan.
Ooh. Ooh, yeah.
Uh-oh.
That's okay. That's okay.
About that much. You're gonna need to use just exactly this much yellow mustard. No idea how much to use. That looks absolutely amazing. And this is less than half. We still have the whole other half of the egg over here. This is insane to me.
This is eating 24 deviled eggs at a party. Ooh. Whoa.
I've been dying to try this. I definitely like the slight addition of the wasabi and the bacon. That makes everything better, but it is just a slightly different texture. I think maybe the yolk is fluffier and the egg itself is a little bit softer.
It looks more like a jelly, like it's, I don't know, it's clearer. The yolk is definitely very, very creamy, but it is kind of like a gelatin, this part, the white. So we're gonna devour this as much as possible. I don't know if we can finish the whole egg, but if not, at least we have a fridge to store it in. We're pretty tired. It's been a long day, and we've got a plan for where we're gonna jump to next. So thank you guys for watching. It's not the biggest adventure, but hopefully it had an interesting twist, and maybe Chris will shave off the Burt Reynolds mustache by the time we film the next video.
We're gonna do what they said can't be done. Then you say something like,
Where'd you get the gum?
I don't miss things. I don't miss things. Woo. Come on.
You're borderline Mickey Mouse.